Welcome everyone. It's time to go wild. It's the Time to Go Wild radio show on Halton Community Radio 92.3 FM. We are also live across the world on hcr923fm.com/listen via TuneIn and via smart speakers. If you want to contact the show, please do so. Facebook or twitter.com/TTGW radio. If you want to drop us an email, do so radio@widneswild.co.uk. Drop us a call 01928 835 291 or text 60066. Start your message with HCR. Messages charged at your standard network rate. That time of the week, it's time to go wild. Oh, breathe. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's the Time to Go Wild radio show. And why do I open with breathe? After last night, by heck, that was one game and a half. And joining me tonight, to keep the pulse rate down and talk about the excitement, I've got an Andy Shutt. Evening, Andy.
Good evening, all. You all right?
And a Chris Wallace.
Still excited.
Well, just briefly, guys, sum last night up in a couple of words quickly before we do the scores.
Best game outside of the playoffs I've seen.
Chris?
Gutting, really. To be honest, it was brilliant. It was fantastic, but I thought we deserved the win.
Well, let's have the scores, and then we can discuss it properly.
Oh.
Time for your weekly roundup of the scores from around numerous leagues that we cover each week here on Time to Go Wild Radio. Starting off with league action from the Elite Ice Hockey League on Saturday. Dundee Stars 7, Coventry Blaze 3, Sheffield Steelers 5, Nottingham Panthers 4 after overtime. Cardiff Devils 3, Belfast Giants 4 after overtime. Glasgow Clan 2, Guildford Flames 4, Fife Flyers 3, Manchester Storm 4 after a shootout. On Sunday, Cardiff Devils 1, Belfast Giants 4, Manchester Storm 4, Nottingham Panthers 5, Coventry Blaze 3, Sheffield Steelers 8, Guildford Flames 0, Fife Flyers 2. EIHA Under-18s North 2 action from Saturday. Nottingham 6, Sheffield 3, Solihull 1, Manchester 11. EIHA Under-15s North 3 action from Saturday. Widnes 3, Deeside 8. On Sunday, EIHA Under-13s North 3 action. Blackburn 2, Billingham 14. EIHA Under-11 North 3 action from Saturday. Bradford 2, Whitley Bay 5. Widnes 0, Billingham 8. EIHA Women's Division 1 North action from Saturday. Solway Sharks Ladies 8, Sheffield Shadows 6. NIHL National League action from Saturday. Leeds Chiefs 4, Hull Pirates 6. Raiders 4, Telford Tigers 5 after a shootout. Swindon Wildcats 7, Sheffield Steel Dogs 3. Basingstoke Bison 3, Bracknell Bees 5. Milton Keynes Lightning 2, Peterborough Phantoms 4. On Sunday, Hull Pirates 6, Basingstoke Bison 4. Peterborough Phantoms 4, Sheffield Steel Dogs 1. Bracknell Bees 2, Swindon Wildcats 4. Telford Tigers 2, Raiders 3. NIHL Division 1 North Morley action from Sunday. Solihull Barons 13, Nottingham Lions 1. NIHL Division 2 North Laidler action from Saturday. Telford Tigers D2 6, Altrincham Aces 10. Blackburn Hawks D2 0, Sheffield Senators 12. On Sunday, Sheffield Senators 1, Dragons 2. NIHL Midland Cup action from Saturday. Sutton Sting 2, Solihull Barons 11. And on Sunday, Widnes Wild 5, Blackburn Hawks D1 6 after overtime. And that's a roundup of your scores from across the leagues that we cover each week here on Time to Go Wild Radio. Come back next week for more. And at the end of the game last night, I managed to get a few words. This is what they had to say. Well, an absolute thriller of a game between the YKK Widnes Wild and the Blackburn Hawks in the Midland Cup here at Planet Ice Widnes. I've been joined by, first up, it's Ken Armstrong. Well, Ken, what a game.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? How good was that?
I mean, end-to-end stuff for 60 minutes and everyone gave an absolute 100,000,000%, I think.
Yeah, I think if you're a neutral coming to watch that, you've got your money's worth. I think, I don't know, just all pulled together, short benched.
Yeah, I mean, a few people missing, so everyone got a fair few shifts in. Yourself, a couple of very, very close chances.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that, but just everyone give everything tonight. Quick shifts, just had to stay switched on all game, and we showed what we can do.
I mean, the score was tight all game. There's barely a goal in it either way from the beginning right the way through to the very end, and just almost, but those last 30 seconds, that pulling the goaltender for Blackburn paid off for them.
Yeah, they went for it at the end, and it paid off. But I think even though we got beat, we can take something from it, and hopefully take that into the league games and get a bit of momentum.
I mean, 2 points now in the cup, better than a number of people would have possibly suspected. It'll be no points at all in the cup for the Wild, but 2 overtime games, an overtime here, penalty shots in Nottingham. Things have really gelled in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think we've had quite a few injuries and people not being able to get to training, things like that. But now, last couple of weeks, we've all put some good shifts in on training, brought that into the games.
Tonight was one of those nights where people like yourself, who, ice time can sometimes be a bit limited for you, but never give up. And tonight, got reap the benefits of getting out there.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to get out there and get so many shifts, but I'm knackered.
Oh, bless.
I'll sleep tonight.
So, next week, take this momentum in against the Bulldogs. How do you think that should fare after the last time, didn't go too well in Blackburn?
No,
in Bradford, I should say.
No, we want one of our best games, but if we play like we did tonight against them, it should be a good game.
I mean, so far, just give us your quick thoughts on the season so far, because it has been hit and miss between league and cup games.
Yeah, I think, we've not played that many league games compared to everyone else in the league, but hopefully now we get a good run of league games. Should be able to get some momentum, hopefully.
Well, I can see just how tired you are. That's been a big night for you, so I'll let you go and get rested and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you very much.
I've also managed to catch up with Dan Fay after the Wild against the Hawks in the Midland Cup. Dan, big night, and some big hits coming in left, right and centre, particularly for the D-men, including yourself.
Yeah, if we got battered quite a bit tonight. It was a tough game. We only had 3D to start with. We dropped Bezzy back down to make it 4 halfway through the game. But with having so little numbers, everyone's tired anyway. And they're a physical team. Everyone knows a few players on the team, so it's that sort of rivalry anyway. They did get it a lot.
I mean, there was 2 big instances for yourself. There was a big hit in the boards in front of the stands, but the other one that really comes to mind was a little sort of tussle with Joe Greaves.
Oh yeah, so basically went down in the corner. He just hit me on the side. Just gave him a little tap, just know I was there and that. he just lost it, and then just like he fed me about 3 times in the nose, and then I sort of turtled.
The guys, the whole squad, as you said, short bench, didn't stop all night.
Oh no, it was a good team effort the whole time. We played simple, there wasn't really much more we could have done with the numbers we had. Obviously injuries and people away doesn't help, but I feel like we sort of come together for the numbers we had.
I mean, a lot of the pace of the game, particularly the difference in speed and fitness as well, I should say, between D1 and D2 is often focused on, and a few people around the rink were saying, we hope the guys don't tire in the third, which was potential worry, especially when you short bench, but it didn't happen from what we could tell.
No, we went out hard as well for the first bit, and as the game sort of tailed off, it slowed down a bit, and then as it picked up towards the end, where it was they pulled the goal in, we're just going all out, emptying the tanks, and we wanted it, as hopefully you could see, but unfortunately tonight wasn't our night.
I mean, the crowd tonight, big turnout from visiting support from Blackburn, and big thank you to them for coming down and supporting Blackburn, and the atmosphere was amazing tonight.
Yeah, it was good, especially when Blackburn scored, you could hear their fans. They were a loud bunch as well. I guess because it's close to Widnes, they do bring more fans than some of the further away teams. But yeah, it was nice to have a bit of an atmosphere in the building as well.
I mean, the fact it is such a closed, compact place becomes a cauldron effect, and tonight that cauldron effect really did sort of buzz both teams up into giving that extra burst of speed throughout the game.
Yeah, it's a good rink to play at. We've got great fans, one of the best in both leagues probably. And it does like when they're on your side and they are cheering and we're doing well, you can tell a difference. But then you can tell a difference if we're not playing too well either.
I mean, tonight I was thinking, hang on a minute, the man's on for his Gordie Howe hat-trick here. I think it was a fighting penalty. You took 2+2, you got an assist, and you nearly came close to scoring as well.
Yeah, so I'm not normally a fighter, but I was fed up of getting hit off the puck for the game. So I had to suck it up and try and do a bit. Luckily after that it sort of died off and we just sort of carried on with the game. It was good to get the goal back to equalise, I think. Get the assist, for Dippy to finish it off. It's always nice to get points, but obviously it's a team sport and we want to win games.
I mean, we had a bit of a bad spell for a few weeks, and then last week things in training had changed. Mike was back looking after training as well, and then we played Telford in a game that nobody predicted that scoreline. I mean, that must have been sort of for everybody that sort of springboard into this week where you knew it was going to be an intense game, because a team like Blackburn will be pushing to move to the next stage of the cup.
Well, it is tough, with Mike being away, and we had sort of a knock-on effect for the next few weeks. We had a knock-on effect for the next few weeks as things weren't sort of in place, getting back sorted with Mike coming back into it as well. Sort of had to readjust slightly because we were playing a different system to when we were playing with Rich. Both good systems, but we just need to keep practicing on it and keep chipping away, turn up to training, work hard, yeah.
I mean, the other week in Nottingham, again, a point, got to penalty shots there. Tonight was overtime. I mean, it's so draining, but in a way, you've got 2 points on the board for this cup competition. It must really make the dressing room feel good.
Yeah, it's good to get points, obviously, all the time, but it's frustrating how we were so close as well with, I think, 18 seconds or something to go. And they got that equaliser back. It's just the way it goes, bad bounces and all of that. But it is good to get points, especially as we are stepping up to play a higher level. I think we are doing a good job in them games battling. So we just got to keep going and try and push ourselves so we start winning games in regulation and get more points out of it.
Well, next week, of course, is the Bulldogs here. Everyone's going to be fired up to get a bit of payback for what happened in their rink the other week. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, well, I wouldn't talk about that game. It wasn't the best one. So Bradford is a hard rink to play at, but there's no excuses for how we played that game. We should have got 2 points. We shouldn't be losing to anyone in our league if we're competing with teams in the league above. We should be dominating.
Well, with that, I'll let you get rested and ready for next week and catch up with you again very soon. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, yeah, what excitement that was. I mean, both Ken and Dan were knackered. You could see it. They were both shattered at the end of that game, but every single player from both teams gave their all last night. But what... Guys,
I was just getting excited listening to them talking about it. I was really living the game.
I mean, at the first period, a number of us are sort of doing a bit of a predictor score and how will it go, and we've seen the way some of the games have gone in the cup, and the biggest two games, I suppose, were really the Nottingham games, where we thought, yeah, we can possibly get something out of that. Yeah. And then last night, to take a team with a lot of strength, a lot of speed, always very feisty, as in they're aggressive when they get near goal. They scare you as they get near goal because the way they pounce, and they're not quite as aggressive as they were a few years back, but they've still got that ability to just go at you and not stop at you and just keep going, and put in that sort of fear to make you have to play extra hard. And the score was so tight. At no point during the game was there any more than a goal in it.
No, I've said quite a few times to people that 2-1 we would have taken that every day in the first period, and probably the second period as well, and the end of the third. To get that result, even though we lost, it was still a good result for the Wild. It's disheartening, but yeah.
It doesn't feel like a loss. Though I was thinking that driving over here. It doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like we've won something, and it's great going forwards as well, because we know we can play like that.
Yeah.
Especially missing some players as well. We didn't have a full strength team.
No, quite a few missing. It's nice to see Bracey and Chris G supporting us as well.
Yeah, I mean, no Danny Bullock, no Matt Tarpey, no Mikhail Novak. Chris G, of course, after the match penalty couldn't play. Dan Bracegirdle's out. Mikey Gilbert's out at the moment. Yeah. A few others, and it's a case of basically two lines. That's all the guys had to play 62 minutes.
Yeah.
Of one really fast-paced game.
Very fast.
I think sometimes though that when your back's against the wall like that brings out the best in you, and you almost play better because of it.
Yeah, you try harder probably.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was 100% effort for the whole game off everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone. There's no one who kind of shied away from it. Every player.
And sometimes in a game like that, you chatting with players over the years, they say sometimes short benched, you end up literally just playing on adrenaline all game because you don't get chance to wind down.
Yeah.
You catch your breath, then you're back on.
Yeah.
And you end up, to coin the phrase, in the zone. You're constantly focused on what you're doing. You don't get time to feel tired.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going and keep going. So,
I think the crowd made a big difference.
Oh.
That was absolutely awesome crowd.
Fantastic.
We've had bigger crowds, but it's all been all Widnes, and the away team has been sort of like 6 or 7 Wags, things like that. Not mentioning any teams, but Telford. Whereas that last night, that was absolutely fantastic. Of course, we had in the box and we had opposite, and we're just hearing 2 sets of shouting.
Yeah, it was
both the same volume, everything.
Genuine stereo shouting last night, and
chuffed to death.
A massive thank you to everybody, home and away fans who came, and it really was. It turned Planet Ice Widnes back into the cauldron we know it is, and it's so because of the size of the rink and the way the noise comes. Okay, it's all from one side, but it's that loud when. Of course, the sound's all coming from the opposite side, and I'm stood on the dressing rooms behind the sin bins, and I'm like going, "This is loud."
Yeah,
there's a lot around the ice rink as well.
Yeah,
there's quite a lot. So, if Matt's listening, have you got any figures on attendance, Matt, please?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely more than the seats. So, in terms of seats selling,
340 seats, I think it is.
It's 340, 360 something. I usually say 350, give or take, is a sellout. So there was at least definitely that, plus others. So, but the whole game, all night, the surprise bit really for me was that opening goal. Lovely, lovely power play goal from TJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to get an early one as well, because it gets the crowd up for it, and yeah, you feel like you.
Pucker was up for it as well. Did you see him running around?
Yeah, I know. I didn't see him trying to eat any fans this week. Was he feeling particularly hungry? Could you tell, Chris?
No, not from what I saw. Not particularly hungry. No. But, no, maybe next week. You never know.
Yeah.
I'll have to starve him a bit this week. And,
yeah. He's got a bit of a family of minders now, hasn't he? He's grown up a bit, so we've had to give him a few extra minders. And some weeks he does get a bit starved and get hungry, particularly when Howard Smith's around. He keeps getting eaten by Pucker each week.
It was funny. I think it was last week. One of the Telford players was in the penalty box, and Pucker went up to tap on the glass and go and tease this player, and Andrew Wycherley just turned around to him and just shook his head slowly, started to just drag him away. I don't know what the play was in there for, but I just had to
probably too
drag him away.
Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, he can be a mischievous little penguin at times, but we all love him.
It was quite a good clean game as well.
I mean,
a couple of fights which we all enjoy.
I mean, actually, the person involved in most of that was actually Dan Fay, which is the first one, of course, a bit of a tete-a-tete and tussle with our friend Joe Greaves.
Oh, funny about that, Joe Greaves. Do you know when he got the 2+2, and then what happened was he said to Jill, he said, "Well, what did I get?" He said 2+2 + 10. He went, "What?" And he stormed off. Jill ran after him down to get him back because obviously you can't leave the box. The whistle went, and I thought, Struth, I've got to do the score, and they've got to write down the numbers and things like that. Well, she's like, I couldn't find a ballpoint pen anywhere. Luckily, it was just a stoppage, but I was frightening. Oh, I was frightened.
Yeah, he probably went off. I'm wondering, because when I saw he took a wander away down to the dressing room.
I think he just went to the toilet.
It could have been that, but also because by the time his 10-minute would have run out, his entire penalty, it would have been a good 5 minutes into the next period. So it's a case of, well, does he really need to sit there for the entire thing? Could he
can only go with the ref's permission.
But he can only go in the ref's permission.
Otherwise, it's game, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you get a bigger penalty. So, well,
thanks, Jill Gillingham. We got your name in.
Yeah, and of course, thanks to everybody for the big 50-50 prize as well.
148.
There
Brilliant.
you go.
I think that's the highest we've ever had.
Yeah. So
Poor Jill last week, not last week, a couple of weeks ago with the Leeds, it was £38.
Yeah. She won that one, didn't she?
£38. But Mike won it again. Mike from the rink.
Yeah.
He's won it twice now. I think he got 129 last time. So I went round into the cafe telling him Mike's won, so he knows you to drink.
So there you go. I mean, tip our hats to everybody who buys, and the people who go around selling them, and everyone who buys it. And I can genuinely, and I have got hand on heart here in the studio,
he has.
The 50-50 is 50-50.
Yep.
And so if you want to do your maths and you're taking home an amount of cash, the sellers are doing a fantastic job.
Some of them do 49-51, don't they, some of the clubs?
Some do 60-40, some do 80-20 the wrong way.
Yeah. Apparently Jill was at one in Las Vegas, I think it was, a game. And it was like 130,000, 50-50. $10 a ticket, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a Golden Knights or something. Yeah.
Talking about the Gillinghams, Mark Gillingham knows his stuff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he got into his box and he's eating jelly babies from B&M, and then he had some of ours which were Haribo's, and he definitely said they were better. He knows his jelly babies.
He knows his jelly babies. Oh, well.
I'll just say something else from last night. Just quickly, I thought it was a nice touch singing Happy Birthday to Shannon.
Yes.
And letting her give the MVP award. I thought that was really nice.
Actually, I was going to say that in the news, a big happy birthday to Shannon. Is it today her actual birthday?
I don't know if it's today or Thursday. I can't remember.
I know she had a bit of a party, and we'll also give a shout out to Kelly and Mike, who got married at the weekend as well.
Congratulations!
So yes, it was a busy weekend for celebrations for them, and of course we had our juniors in action. We'll talk about them a little bit later. I think it's time for a little breather.
Yep, good for that.
And after last night, I was feeling a real bit shook. So you know what? I'm going to have a bit of AC/DC, and you shook me all night long. And of course, we come to What's on Guide time. Yes, time to remind you, of course, of all of our usual little features and featurettes, of course. If you want all your news about the YKK Widnes Wild, check out widneswild.co.uk online for the main website, and there's also Facebook and twitter.com/widneswild. If you want our Instagram page, it's instagram.com/widneswildofficial, and our YouTube page, youtube.com/widneswild ice hockey club. You can text, of course, throughout the show, 60066. Start your message with HCR. We also have a new text number to contact the show during the week and throughout the show. If you want to use a normal number, it's now 07849 767755. That's 07849 767755. If you want to contact the show as well by email, it's radio@widneswild.co.uk. We have our fan pages where you can check out all the details about Own and Loan shirts, which are £80 for a game shirt, £60 for a warm-up shirt. There are still a few available, so check out the fan pages on the widneswild.co.uk website for that. And of course, a big shout out to our very valuable sponsors, our headline sponsor, YKK, penalty box sponsor, the Sepsis Trust, Sprakes and Son of Widnes, DMH Tyres, CL Woodworking, Blast and Paint Stripping, bespoke conversions of Widnes, and our chosen charity of Stick and Step for this season. Okay, Andy, what's coming up in the fixtures?
Right, here we go. Sunday the 1st of December. We'll start off on Saturday the 30th of November. D-side under-15s versus Widnes under-15s. That's an 18:30 face-off. Then Sunday the 1st of December, got Widnes Wild versus the Bradford Bulldogs. That's a league game. Face-off 17:30. That's in Widnes. Saturday the 7th of December, we've got Widnes under-9s cross ice, and that's at Widnes. So that's another cross ice competition for them. Face-off at 18:15. Also Saturday the 7th, Blackburn under-13s versus Widnes under-13s. Face-off at 16:45. Obviously, that's at Blackburn. Then at D-side is D-side under-18s versus Widnes under-18s at 18:30. Face-off for that one. And Telford Tigers Division 2 in a NIHL League game versus Widnes Wild. Face-off at 1900. So you're going to be late back for that one. Sunday, the 8th of December, Widnes are at home to the Dragons. Face-off at 17:30, so you should be all ready for that, for Come Dancing, whatever it's called. Saturday, 14th of December, we've got Solihull under-15s versus Widnes under-15s in Solihull, and that's 18:15 face-off. Again, Saturday the 14th, Widnes under-11s versus Billingham under-11s, 18:15 face-off, that's at Widnes. Also at Widnes, a bit later is Widnes under-18s versus Manchester under-18s. That'll be a cracker. That's at 19:45. Then Sunday, 15th of December, Widnes Wild women have returned. They'll be playing against Solway Sharks, obviously the ladies Solway Sharks, and face-off for that is 5:30. I'll be there on the clock as well. So if you're listening, Emma, I'm there. Sunday the 15th, Solihull Barons are playing at home in the Cup against Widnes Wild. That's the 17:30 kick-off, or face-off, I should say. And that completes it for the moment. So enjoy those, go and support them. I mean, if it's only the kids, the under-18s, you see some great hockey and some great entertainment as well.
Yeah, with the 18s were in action, of course, on where are we? Just got it here. On Saturday. And, it was we had, get it right, Colin. It was the 15th, we had in action against D-side on Saturday, as well as our under-11s being in action against Billingham. And our poor 11s, they ground out as best they could, but, Billingham, you can see the experience that those kids have had coming through the ranks, and, they don't give up, though, the kids. They just do not give up. I mean, they ended up having to call the game at 8-0, but, Widnes kids just kept going all game. Kept going.
Yeah, you can see a lot of improvement in some of the kids as well, which is obviously great to see. It's really encouraging. And as long as everything's heading in the right direction.
Yeah. They're getting games now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that's good to see.
And a big positive, actually, in the under-15s game that followed it. They were like 6 or 7 goals down in the third period, and then they pulled 3 back.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, it just showed that they weren't giving up. They were keeping going and keeping going. Some beautiful finishing in that game, and it was a tough game for them against Eastside. The D side have got, again, they've been playing a lot longer as an entire squad, and this year the 15s, although it's their second year playing, they just kept going and pushing and pushing and pushing. It's just going to build and build each year, and with the up and coming fixtures, I mean. Coming up from the weekend of the 21st and 22nd, that is a seriously packed fixture list. We've actually not announced it this week because it would have had a fixture list going on for about half an hour.
It's quite long. I would have gone on strike.
Yeah. so
but about the academy, didn't Sam Anderson do well last night?
Yeah.
So he's come up through the ranks.
He nearly got a goal.
Yeah.
Well, nearly got a couple of goals actually. He was very close a couple of times.
Yeah. And he got boarded once, but that was okay.
Yeah.
He reacted very well. He did come in the box, but so what? That's part of the game. You have to.
Yeah, you sit down.
It's a rite of passage.
You sit down. You feel shame. Yeah, Slapshot. What a film. But yeah, last night's game. Well, the whole weekend for me, we had good going hockey on for the kids on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday, as Ken said, if you'd come as a neutral, you got true value for money, even on the regulation.
£8.
Yeah.
Just looking at regulation, you got a thriller, and then of course you got the overtime as well. You couldn't really ask for much more from a hockey match than that.
No, like you said.
And even my wife came out and nicked some jelly babies off me as well.
I think everyone needed the extra sugar boost. It was. I mean, the crowd last night was just something amazing to have again, and that noise and
it was friendly rivalry as well. It wasn't that. Well, I'm not going to mention any teams, but one in Wales. When it can get quite aggressive.
I was chatting to a number of people after the game, after most people had dispersed, and you couldn't see anybody with a genuinely upset, sad face at the result. I mean, in terms of people who were around the rink towards as everyone was leaving, and I was walking past a number of people and just saying what a game that was. And,
it's entertainment.
I can genuinely say it was a pleasure to sit at home last night, and I was shattered last night. And I was going, no, I am going to get the edits done on this. I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get the encodes running so it's ready to go live tonight when I get home from here. And some of the finishing was just fantastic. I mean, the fourth goal in particular for the Wild, Dan Fay gets it in the zone across to Hadji, and then Jakub just gets it across to Dippy right on the edge of the goal, and bang! It's like, wow.
I think Hadji's improved a lot this season. I'll just say, nothing against Hadji, but he seemed to be a bit selfish at the end of last season. He was not doing as much passing, but now...
I think it was frustration.
It could be, if you're not knocking into goals and that. But
I mean, from my perspective on the end of last season, was all of the opposition were putting all of their eggs into shutting down that first line of Brittle, Barron and Hajek. Mm. Unfortunately for the other opposition, unfortunately for Wild, we had
a good second line.
2, 3 and a fourth line you could sort of put together depending upon how the squad was running that were banging goals in. Yeah. So they were shutting down the seriously fast-paced line, but we still had the depth. And thankfully last night, the way the squad all pulled together, it was the goals were mainly centred around one particular line, but everybody dug in. And as I said in the interviews, after a bit of a bad spell we've had, the last 2 games, the performance has just been so different.
It's been to a different level, hasn't it?
It's...
I mean, I was saying to people before last week's game, just an off-the-cuff remark, I said, it's going to be 10-0 tonight. And people were going, oh, okay, yeah. And it got to 3-0, and I went back to them and went, we're on the way. It could be. And then 6, 7. I went, we're well on the way now. It just kind of... It was just one of those games. It was fantastic.
Last week's game, a number of us were saying, what our predictions were, and if you'd have said that to me, I'd have said, oh, go away.
Yeah.
What have you? Because what have you been eating, or you'd have been on cloud cuckoo. I'd have thought you were on cloud cuckoo land with that.
Thinking about these last 2 games, I think they play better than they did last season.
I don't know how. I mean, it's a different style of play. I'll say that. It is a very different style of play than we've been used to seeing. But it's starting. It's
team.
But one thing we as fans and supporters all have to put into perspective is the league position, because we're going to start coming back into a lot of league games. At the moment, we're basically between 5 to 6 games behind the rest of the league.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we're sat 7th out of 8th. But when you actually then twist that around and look at potential points, we're joint with Bradford on a maximum potential. But the team in the driving seat at the moment, with the best max potential points in the league, are the Hull Jets. And that is a team that, as I've been saying over the last few years, has grown and grown and grown. It's took them a number of years for Andy Dainty to rebuild that squad with a lot of new players.
I don't even know, Chris, but Colin comes from Hull.
I don't. I don't come from Hull. I'm born and bred in Liverpool. I went to Hull for university and stayed there for 23 years.
See, he's a Hull fan.
A long time at university.
I'm half Lurkel. I'm only a half Lurkel. But no, that squad, I've seen the Jets over the years at different times, and they were a top D1 team for many years, and they want to get back up to that level. But where we are positioned as the Wild in terms of locale to some other teams, where we're positioned location-wise, we are so blessed to have a lot of close games with the likes of Deeside, Blackburn, Altrincham, and even Bradford for that matter.
Yeah.
They're all within a reasonable location. So a team like Hull, with their location, if they can have, I don't know how their travel would be up to Whitley Bay, but it's still a trek up to Whitley Bay from Hull, because you've got to come out and then head north. So, but the Transpennine rivalry we've got going with Hull now, I mean that's great, and it's a good competitive set of games and this division of Laidlaw, I think, has just got better and better over the years I've been watching.
It has now. Nottingham have left, because that was a horrendous drive, wasn't it, down to Nottingham?
Oh well.
What was it, face off at midnight or something? Oh.
Well, I'll say sometimes it was face off scheduled for 7:30.
Yeah, and it used to last later.
Oh, we know. In the other, I mean, mind you, the last game down in Nottingham, they did get home late because they had overtime and penalty shots.
Yeah.
And I did watch the penalty shots for that, and it was a good game that actually to watch. And I'll tip my hat to everybody down at the I call it the National Ice Centre. It does have its sponsor's name, but the National Ice Centre in Nottingham for installing that new camera system they've got, and it's nice that is available, and the way in which it seems to work to follow the games and stuff. So, it's a really good thing to be looking at for all rinks to be able to hopefully be able to invest in something like that. Well,
suppose it could be the licence, though. The licences cost a lot, don't they, for broadcasting?
It's not the broadcasting, it's the actual kit. It is a fairly expensive piece of kit. It's a special different angled lenses on one mount, so they can switch and move between them very easily. So, anyway.
You would do new, Colin, we'll be having you live, handy cam.
Oh, well, you never know what happens in this day and age. Right. While we've got a few moments, a couple of news items from the EIHA, just to quickly go over them. First up, we've got the JLMC 2020 tournament in Sheffield with the Sheffield Ice Hockey Association. The details are on eiha.co.uk, but just to briefly give you details, the tournaments are £550 per team entry fee. There's a minimum bench size. All details are actually on the EIHA website, but the dates that span are from the 6th of June, 6th and 7th of June, 13th, 14th of June, 20th, 21st of June, 27th, 28th of June, and 11th and 12th of July for different age groups. We also have a 2020 tournament in Billingham for another juniors tournament, and those will be the 20th and 21st of June and the 4th and 5th of July next year. The tournament fee is £375 per team. But again, some of the initial details are on eiha.co.uk for that one. Andy French has mentioned about the up-and-coming GB against Canada game. The ticket sales apparently have gone berserk. So I don't know if there's many left. Keep your eye on social media or just contact the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham if you're still interested, if there are any tickets available. Apparently they've been going thick and fast for that. And finally, just a quick one about Ben Pitchley. He's the England head coach. He is having a head and beard shave in December at the December ENTP camp in Sheffield, which will be taking place on the 19th and 20th of December in aid of former England and GB therapist Kirsty Hopgood, who was diagnosed with osteosarcoma back in August. And so he's doing that to raise funds for her again and the appropriate charity. Again, all details are available through eiha.co.uk for that. So again, it's great seeing these news articles coming up.
Tell you what's interesting to me is, some of the games coming up over Christmas. Normally we have a lull, don't we?
Yes.
Over Christmas, but we've got a few, on the 22nd, the 21st, and I think it's the 28th we've got a game.
We've actually got a game this year between Christmas, two games in Blackburn between Christmas and New Year.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting if you'd a bit of a loss, and it will be ice hockey.
Yeah, first time in 7 years.
Before I forget, it's a teddy toss, isn't it? On the 8th.
Yes, the game against Deeside. They will be the Air the Bear, Chuck a Teddy, and don't forget to put the teddy in a bag, please.
Yeah, so it doesn't get wet.
Yeah, we don't want them getting wet on the ice.
They're not polar bears, are they?
No. So yeah, the Air the Bear will be taking place in the game against Deeside on Sunday, December the 8th, which we have to win.
Yes. Yeah, really.
No. Defeat isn't an option that day.
No, not against Deeside.
No.
No.
That day, defeat is not an option.
Not because they beat the Senators last night.
No, it's not for that reason either. There's another reason, but we don't go into that tonight. It's a personal reason. But anyway, in terms of last night's game, again, a big thank you again goes out to the Blackburn fans for coming down in such good numbers. We hope they all had a great time, and that just made, I think, both teams so fired up. Absolutely fired up. I mean, everything just seemed to click in both for all the passing that was going on with the Wild, the linking up, digging in. A couple of times we were caught short at the back, and players were just flying down the ice to catch pucks and defend. And some of Phil Pearson's saves last night were just, where did that leg appear to get a pad down? And you were saying about about the way the shooting was last night and lifting it.
A lot of lifting now. It's not going across ice. Going for the 5-hole or things like that. It's actually getting lifted above the shoulders now.
I mean, those of you who watched hockey from years ago, you'd always see a lot of goaltenders use the stand-up stance across the goal. But, I mean, Chris, you play in goal from time to time.
I tried it as a one-off.
And
I don't intend to make a career of it.
Trying to drop into the butterfly and get your legs down, and
it's difficult. It's just not a natural position to stand in, not a natural position to kneel in. It's not comfortable. It's getting back up's difficult. So fair play to anyone who does it. I mean, watching someone like Phil or Steph Drinkwater for the women's Wild team, fair play to them. It's not easy.
Yeah, you wonder why goaltenders retire at certain ages because their hips or knees go.
Greg's knees, wasn't it?
Greg's knees, yeah. And it's, I don't know, there's something special about goaltenders, which is why you look after your goaltender. Nobody touches a goaltender. But it's one of those ones where the saving last night at times was just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's when everyone says about, I'll call it the flashing of the glove at times, where a goaltender sort of swings their hand in like a windmill action and catches the puck. It looks really flashy. Having played in goal at a bit of a scrim cum training session,
Yeah.
would you say that is the goaltender being flashy, or would you say they're basically hedging their bets?
Yeah, hedging the bets. I don't. Yeah, you don't.
Probably trying to
try
stop
and
the
be
puck hit them.
Yeah, you just try not to get hurt. I did ask Phil actually, Phil Pearson, for a bit of advice because I'd never been in goal before, and he told me not to let any shots in.
That's quite good. That's
a good one.
And then he said, "Get out the way of the puck." And they're the only bits of advice he gave me.
Yeah.
So I didn't know whether to try and stop them going in or just skate out the way of them. But it's scary at time.
There was some fun and games, of course, going on to a slightly different tack. After the Wild against Blackburn game last night, for some of our rec players having a bit of a fun scrimmage, weren't they?
Yeah. It's just it's nice to get a bit of time to kind of put everything you learn into practice. So just had a scrim and it's.
But as scrimmages go, there's a scrimmage, and then you can sort of. It's not an actual game, but you make it into a game of itself, don't you?
Yeah. It kind of makes it almost mean a bit more because I don't know. We've all had scrims where you think, oh, if that was a game, I would have tried a bit harder then. I would have gone for that puck or whatever. But yeah, if you kind of give it a bit more meaning, then everyone puts a bit more effort in, like the lads did last night.
Yeah, I mean, there was you could see an awful lot of people bringing kit in and getting ready, and I think they're having another something tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, there'll be another scrim tonight.
So, what time's it happen? If people do want to sort of stick their head in and see what it's like at a rec scrim,
it's late. It is late. It's 9:45.
Yeah.
So from 9:45 onwards, if you want to come and have a watch, then feel free.
If you're on shift 2:10, be ideal.
Yeah.
Get a pint and all.
Yeah. Plus, if anyone, I think you mentioned this in the past. If anyone is interested in rec hockey, then there are Facebook groups, or even get in touch with yourself, and I'm sure you can point them in the right direction. So the more the merrier.
Ask at the rink reception,
yeah,
or whichever rink you're at. If you're wherever you are and you're in the country, if you're interested, pop along.
Yeah,
and ask about a hockey basics. Actually, there was a
basic session.
There was a chap actually on Saturday when the juniors were getting sorted, and he mentioned to me about differences between roller hockey and ice hockey, and he was interested in getting on the ice for ice hockey. I said, well, I got him a fixture list out, and there's different people on with public skates on, so you can see different blade styles. And he said, I said, well, a lot of players play roller hockey as well as ice hockey.
I'd like to try roller. Actually, because I've never tried it. But interestingly, I was chatting to Matt Tarpey last night and asking him how he's found the transition, and I think it's mainly the skating that's the difference. Obviously, being on ice as opposed to being on board.
Do you know what the difference is?
Go on.
Ice hockey's colder.
That's the only difference. But he's enjoying playing for the Wild and loving it.
I mean, it's great seeing how the transition of the way the squad's re-evolved this year, and everyone's fitted together, and a lot of the guys don't none of them look out of place at all, and they've all played really well. And it's again, teams have ups, teams have downs, and there's a long way to go to the end of the season. Oh, we have a message. There is a hockey kit sale this Thursday, apparently. So will that be... All right, so...
That'll be for the academy.
That's sort of an academy-related matter.
Julia, my wife, has just sent that in.
Ah, right. So there we go. Julia. Yeah, and again, for the kids, if kids are interested in playing, again, check with the rink, but don't worry about kit initially, because there are ways and means that kit can be obtained at a reduced price, because, of course, kids grow. Yeah.
That's where I got my first bits of kit from the kit sale that we have at the rink.
Yeah.
Is it every third week?
Something like that. Every so many weeks they have a kit sale on, and
I think it used to be the last Thursday of the month. It was. Yeah.
So this weekend, of course, we are looking forward to, and the guys will definitely be up for it. It's revenge, hopefully, for what happened in Bradford the other week. The Bulldogs are on a roll. They're sitting high and dry at the moment at the top of the league with Hull biting at their ankles, but we've got a long way to go. But
they can always be stopped.
It's going to be a big
stopped.
game.
Yes. We did it last year, didn't we? We was a bit the same last year, wasn't it?
We had a hiccup.
They'd started off very, very well.
So yes, it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, in terms of penalty minutes, I mean, there's a big gulf in the penalty minutes, but I don't know. It's just going to be one of those games you go out and just play and just go for it.
Yeah, looking at the penalty minutes, it's quite a bit up and down because Senators used to be quite good and Altrincham used to be quite high, didn't it?
Yeah, they're the opposite.
They've changed. They seem to have swapped. They have now.
Yeah, Altrincham this year are on really low penalty
Imagine
minutes.
they've got good grievances with them. Stupid of me, yes, of course. And Tom.
Yeah, a couple of players are notorious for picking up penalties. Some do, some don't. Sometimes you have a quiet year, other years you're forever sat in the sin bin. It just depends how it goes.
And Lee never came in last night.
No, yes, the sheriff didn't come in at all.
Very good discipline last night, I thought.
Yeah, well, he did wear the C last night. He was wearing the captaincy in the absence of Captain Danny Bullock. But, I mean, fantastic team effort. Fantastic team effort last night, and a fantastic game to behold. And, again, we're going to be in for a thriller, I think, this coming weekend when the Bulldogs are in town. So I'm looking forward to it. You guys are?
Yeah, get yourself down there.
We're about out of time, and you know what? I'm going to play a song to play out from one that I would play when someone get a bit naughty.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
I'm never naughty.
nah, they always deny it. They say it wasn't them, or as Shaggy says, it wasn't me. So we shall sign off for another week. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you all for listening. God bless you all.
We'll see you again.
Yep, see you again soon. See you the weekend.
And from me, for another week from Time to Go Wild Radio, take care and we'll catch you all next time.
Keep skating.
Ta-ra.